Hey you guys, welcome back to my page. I just wanted to come back with another video. It is Friday, so you guys know every Tuesdays and Fridays I have new content coming for you guys. So before we get started, don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for all the new content that's coming up, all right? All right, so let's get into the video. Today's video, if you can tell by the title, is what the average cost is for surrogacy. It's more like a guide to an affordable surrogacy journey. And this is for people who are looking for surrogates to have their babies for them. And then I'll also talk about being a surrogate, what it looks like cost-wise, as well. So most of the time people look at surrogacy like, oh, you're like making hundreds of thousands of dollars, and that's not the case. But looking for a surrogate can cost hundreds of thousands of dollars. So, the cost of surrogacy, or like the average cost of surrogacy ranges anywhere between $120,000 to about $150,000 in the United States. But there are lower cost options that start at less than $100,000. Overseas, the surrogacy can cost as little as $50,000 in Eastern Europe or South America. And in places like the Western countries like the UK, Greece, and Canada, places like that can cost around $80,000 or so for surrogacy services. Now, of course, in places like Canada, if you are looking for a surrogate, you pay for those services, or you pay for like the person's medical expenses, things like that, but you are not paying the actual person to be the surrogate. You're just covering their medical expenses and things like that. Here in the United States, being a surrogate, being an intended parent or an IP, you have multiple costs. So like I said, in Canada, places like that, they're paying for medical expenses, doctor visits, things like that. In the United States, you're paying not only for the medical expenses, doctor's appointments, but you're also paying for their medication, their prenatal vitamins, any kind of medications that the surrogate has to take. So this, of course, does include the different hormonal treatments, the birth control, the progesterone, the Lupron, the estrogen, but even down to the baby aspirin and the prenatal vitamins, if I didn't say that already. So you're paying for all of that. Not only as an intended parent are you paying for that, you're paying for the surrogates' life insurance, you're paying for their health insurance, you're paying for their time away from work, you're paying their spouse for time away from work if needed, you're also paying for their travel, their food while they're traveling, their mileage. You're also paying, depending on which agency you go through, some agencies do or do not do this, but you can be paying for them to have a maid to clean their home. You could be paying for that person's child care. You could also be paying for their relocation. You could be paying their rent. You could be paying their bills. You're paying their lawyer costs. You're paying their hospital fees. You're paying emergency room visits or doctor's visits and ultrasound scans and all of these things. So as an intended parent in the United States, you have a lot of things that you're paying for. Knowing that there is a legal contract signed, it's stated in that legal contract what is being paid for and what is not being paid for. Of course, now, if you have an intended parent that is not following those guidelines or those rules that are set out for them, then that intended parent is in violation of their contract and can be responsible for paying that money back. They can be responsible for a lot of different things. So that's why it's important that the surrogates stick to what is in their contract. I apologize for moving the camera so much. So you also have to know that with being a surrogate, there are a lot of stipulations. There are a lot of things that you have to do that you may not want to do or that you may not like to do. But guess what? You signed up for it, so you have to do it. This includes, of course, taking the medications. A lot of people don't like taking pills. Well, becoming a surrogate, you have to take those pills. You don't like needles. Well, unfortunately for you, being a surrogate, you have to take shots. And these shots include shots in your abdomen and in your buttocks. So those shots are there. You have to be abstinent. A lot of surrogates do have partners, and your partner has to be willing to understand that abstinence is key. You are not to indulge in the festivities simply because you can get pregnant. Being on the hormonal treatments, it ups your fertility. That's the point. It's supposed to make you extremely fertile so that your body thinks that it's naturally going through the phase of, oh, it's time right before your cycle, you know what I mean? So or right after your cycle, when you're in your peak ovulation phase, that's what it tricks your body to believe, so that it accepts the egg that is implanted. So you are not supposed to have sex, be it protected or unprotected, because we all know that condoms are not 100% sure. So you have to be very, very cognizant of what you're doing. Of course, as a surrogate, you have to make sure if you're a drinker, that's not happening anymore. If you're a smoker, that's definitely not happening anymore. If you're somebody who takes recreational drugs, that's an absolute no-no. But of course, you get drug tested and all of these things before you even get that far. So if you've gotten that far and then you just decide to go on a party binge, there's a problem. And you could possibly owe the IPs their money back, and you will be dropped from your agency for doing something like that. So those are the kind of things that you have to consider if you want to have someone give birth for you. Like, you have to take a deep look into these people's lives and make sure that they are the right person for you when it comes to the surrogacy process. So I guess I can add this in this video as well, that the whole process is, as an IP or even as a surrogate, you have to create a profile for yourself. Once you create that profile, it's like a matching process. So it's kind of like Match.com or Christian Mingle or whatever the dating sites are, Plenty of Fish or whatever it is, whatever those dating sites are, it's kind of like that. So you set yourself a profile, or you make a profile. Really, your agency does it for you, but you make a profile. You include interesting facts about yourself. This includes your name, your age, your weight, your height, where you were born, the kind of things you like. What do you like to do in your spare time? Do you have a family? Do you not have a family? Your religious beliefs, all of these kind of things are included. And then you also include things like family photos. You include photos of yourself, photos of you and your children, photos of you and your spouse or your significant other. All of those things are included as a surrogate and as an IP. So then what happens is the agency matches or finds a match for you. And this goes both ways. So like in my situation, my profile was shopped around to different intended parents. If an intended parent seemed interested, then the agency would let me know someone is interested in you. Would you like to meet them? Sure, I would love to meet them. And then what you end up doing is a over the phone, Zoom, Skype, whatever, meeting. And then there are times where, like in my case, my families are international, so they do not speak as good of English. So we have a translator. So the translator will let them know, okay, I'm going to ask so and so questions, and then I will tell you what they said. I'll ask you the same question, and then I'll translate for you. So it's a lot of back and forth. And in that conversation, the IPs, I mean, you're spending big money, right? So you want to make sure you know everything about this person that you can possibly know. And then that gives both parties the opportunity to ask questions of each other. So you can ask, do you smoke? Do you drink? What is a daily routine of yours, or what do you like to do on in your spare time or on the weekends or what have you? I asked the intended parents, is there a certain diet restriction that they would prefer? What is the communication going to be like, in the sense of, I'm carrying your child. Would you prefer that I only contact you when I have doctor's appointments and special events or special occasions pop up? Or would you like a weekly communication? Do you want photos? Do you want me to video chat you? Do you want videos of ultrasounds and things like that? Do you want to be in the room when the baby is born? Now, of course, with the COVID situation and things like that, I don't think that that would be possible. And it's kind of a weird situation, if I can say that, in the sense of you would have a stranger in the room with you looking at your lady bits. And even though it's their baby, like, I don't know you. I don't think I want you in my lady parts. Nothing personal, just saying. So, I mean, I'm completely open with stuff like that. Like, I would want to be in the room when my baby is born. So, but I get it all at the same time. It's a sense of privacy. So those kind of conversations happen all the time. Like I stated, as an IP, you're dishing out a lot of money. Sometimes it could be more than $150,000, simply because you may be requesting that you want twins, or you want triplets, or you want quadruplets. I don't know who asked for that, but things happen. Definitely they asked for twins. But when stuff like that happens, you have to pay out more money. And then as an intended parent, you have to put money into a trust fund. When you put money into this trust fund, this is money not only that's paying for the services that the surrogate has to go through. Not only is it paying for their medication, not only is it paying for their travel, what have you, but this is money to cover any incidents that may happen and they're not planned for. This is something that would cover if you got to go to court, you're paying lawyer fees. Or this is something that happens where that money, covers an emergency surgery, or whatever the case may be. Anything can happen in a pregnancy. So you want to make sure that that money is there. So I'm not 100% sure, but I'm pretty sure there's extra funds in that trust account, not just what they know will cover, because every hospital stay or delivery cost is different, all of those kind of things. So you have to really look at, as the intended parent, not only are you wanting to have this child, but you're paying for what you want. You know what I mean? So you're paying for the child. You're paying for the services. You're paying as a reimbursement to the surrogate. It's like, it's not to be taken lightly. Let's just put it that way. So, the average cost is 120 to 150,000, but everything, certain things happen differently. Now, when it comes to being a surrogate in terms of cost, that all depends. Everybody's amount is not going to be the same. Everybody's body is different. Everybody's situation is different. Every pregnancy is different. So the money that you are reimbursed as a surrogate depends on you, really. A lot of it depends on your previous birth that you've done, or births that you've done. It depends on your health. It depends on your weight. It depends on your state that you live in. Certain states, I was informed, now don't quote me, but I was informed that if you are a surrogate in the state of Texas under an agency in the state of Texas, you can get $10,000 for being a surrogate. I'm not into being a surrogate for the money. I absolutely love being pregnant. I think labor is the funnest part of the whole pregnancy. But I will say $10,000 is not enough money to risk your life. And when I say that because you have to think about it. Every pregnancy is a risk. Anything could happen to you. Anything could happen to the baby. You could lose your chances of reproducing for yourself. You could lose your life. You could lose a lot of blood. You could lose, an ovary. You can lose a fallopian tube. You can have an ectopic pregnancy. It could be dangerous. You could have to have blood transfusions. Anything can happen. So for $10,000, I'm sorry, it's not enough money. I'm not saying that, you could buy another fallopian tube or anything, but I'm just saying to have to go through that traumatic experience. I mean, it's not all situations are not traumatic, don't get me wrong, but to put your life on the line, $10,000 is not enough. I'm not going to personally discuss what I make, but I will say that in other states outside of Texas, other surrogate friendly states, some may offer less than that. I haven't looked at every state's minimum, but I can say places like California or Arizona, for being a first time surrogate, you can make anywhere between $25,000 to $95,000 being a surrogate. Like I said, it all depends on your health. It all depends on your previous birth history. It depends on your weight. It depends on a lot of things. Now, I'm not saying the first time you're a surrogate, you're going to walk out with $95,000. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that's the range that you can be reimbursed for being a surrogate. Now, every time that you are a surrogate after your first time, your amount increases because you are considered an experienced surrogate. So let's use the $10,000 in Texas. You may start off at $10,000 and your next time you may make $20,000 or $25,000. The time after that, if you decide to do it again, you may make $40,000. After that, you may make $65,000. You just never know. It just kind of depends. Now, I don't know, obviously, if the amounts jump that high, but I'm just giving an example of how it increases versus what you made initially. You get bonus packages. So the bonus packages may be different every time. Your first bonus package, you may have gotten an extra $2,000 the whole pregnancy. The next time you may get an extra 10. It just kind of depends. It depends on the agency. It depends on their stipulations. It depends on a whole bunch of things. So just know that money that the IPs or intended parents are putting into that all goes towards everything as a surrogate that you do. It goes towards agency fees. It goes towards fertility fees. It goes towards, I guess, the frozen egg process. I mean, I don't know if that's separate, but I'm going to guess that that's part of it. So a lot of that, is tied into it. So that's where that money goes. And that's where that makes a huge difference in what you would pay as an IP. So if you think that you would want to be an IP, or you would like to be an IP because you're having fertility issues, or you might not want to ruin your body, or you may not have a significant other but you do want a baby, or whatever the case may be, those are some things that you should think about. You know what I mean? And that's not to scare you. And of course, I would suggest talking to any agency that you see fit, any, fertility lawyer or surrogacy lawyer, and get the fine print details. But this is what I know and what I've understood and what I've read, and in the contracts and everything like that. That's just information that I've seen. I will say being a surrogate means that you have to sign those legal paperworks, and of course the intended parents have to sign that too, and it can average anywhere between 30 to 80 pages that you have to read line by line, because you can't just jump over it and sign something, and you're signing your life away. And that's like literally, you're signing your life away and you're in contract with that. So if you break any of those rules, you're legally bound to that. So you got to be careful, you know? What else when it comes to surrogacy? Now, if you're looking to be a surrogate, I definitely say do the same thing. Question different agencies. Look at your state laws. See if it's even legal in your state to be a surrogate. Definitely, you know, get an idea of a benefit package from multiple agencies and see what they're offering. Some may try to lowball you and say, oh, we're only going to give you $15,000 when you check another agency that may be down the street from them and they're offering $45,000. It just all depends. So I would definitely say check out your agencies, and this goes for intended parents or surrogates. Read the fine print, have a lawyer look over all of the information and see if it's worth it. Get multiple opinions on lawyers. You don't have to just go with the lawyer that they give you. You can choose your own lawyer. You have that right. I know some people who have fertility issues, and I told them from the jump, I would be so happy to deliver your, I mean, well, not deliver, but to have your baby for you, because they're sweet people. And it's not about the money at all. I just wish they would be able to carry to term, or I wish that they would just be able to have a family, period. And there's a lot of families that can't. Me personally, as a surrogate, I honestly don't mind who I have a baby for. I don't care if it's a single mother. I don't care if it's a couple. I don't care if it's a heterosexual or homosexual couple. I don't care if they're transgender. I don't care, because I feel like if you want the blessing of being a parent, why not? Who am I to stop you? That's not my place to judge or to say, no, you can't have a baby because you're X, Y, and Z. That's not for me to say. You want a baby? Well, guess what? My oven is ready. You ready? Let's do this. You know what I'm saying? So that's it for today. I just wanted to kind of go over what the average surrogacy cost is on the road to surrogacy, or the journey to surrogacy. I just wanted you guys to know, on average, what the cost is from the intended parent point of view, and then how it looks coming from the surrogate point of view as well. So if you guys have any questions or comments, leave them down below. Definitely ask as many questions as you have. I would be more than happy to do a Q&A and give you guys more information about surrogacy. I do have another video coming up on Saturday. And we're going to kind of go over like the different medications that you have to take during surrogacy. And then we'll kind of go from there. So I just like giving you guys the information that I feel is important, that you guys may be wondering about. And I feel like if I put it out there and give it to you guys, you know, the more informed, or like as they say, the more you know, right? So definitely, I want to thank you guys for watching my video. I want to once again say, don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe. Thank you to all of my new subscribers, you guys. As a matter of fact, I have some people that I need to shout out, and I wasn't going to forget. I just wanted to make sure I got through that part of my video really quick. But I have some people that I need to shout out and thank for subscribing to my channel as of recently. I want to thank Vanessa Espinosa 49. That is my girl. Thank you so much. My best friend since second grade, Morena. Thank you so much, Michelle. I love you. My other friend, Vanessa and Stella, I have known since I was 12 years old. So Stella Loves Gordo, thank you so much for subscribing. Thank you so much to Ashley Woodley for subscribing to my page as well. I'd also like to thank Quinessa Crown. I have known her since I was about 15 years old. Thank you so much for subscribing. I love you. She is actually responsible for my intro and my outro. So I thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. And also I want to thank Diamond Metz, that is my bonus baby. She subscribed to my page as well. So I want to thank all of you guys for blessing my page. I truly appreciate it. I love you guys from the bottom of my heart. And, you know, tell your friend to tell a friend to tell a friend to like, comment, share, subscribe, and get this information about the surrogacy journey. You guys, I actually am going to do a little bit of vlogging in between here. I know it has nothing to do with surrogacy, but hubby, his birthday is coming up on March 10th, and I'm actually doing a birthday weekend for him next weekend. So I may just insert a little vlog in here, just to break up all of the serious talk about surrogacy, so you guys can see I'm really like, I do like to do fun stuff, and we do like to hang out and do stuff, and it's not all business all the time. So I want to thank you guys once again for liking, commenting, sharing, subscribing. Keep the subscriptions coming. Don't forget to hit the notification bell, because like I said, every Friday and Tuesday a new video is coming with new content, be it actual facts about surrogacy, be it the process itself with me going, you know, I can't record my psych evaluation, but I can talk to you guys about it. With me vlogging the medical clearance, can't see the lady bits. Me vlogging, you know, doing the shots, doing the birth control pills, giving you guys information about those hormone treatments. And then, of course, you guys already know we will be recording the transfer. I recorded the transfer last time, but it was on my Facebook Live. So I do also have a Facebook page, so you guys are more than welcome to, you know, join that Facebook page as well. And it is the same name, The Journey Through My Surrogacy. So you guys can definitely join that as well. That is where I post just like all kind of random stuff all the time. So you guys may see a lot of Facebook Live videos there. I try to come here the same day that I do Facebook, any live videos or anything like that, to just post and give you guys more information. So thank you guys so much. I know I've said that like a million times. I'm really going to get out of here this time. I appreciate you guys. I love you. Please tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend to like, comment, share, and subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you guys can get more information, okay? I love you guys. Be blessed, and I will talk to you guys soon. Bye.